Guys, it's me again, man. Yeah. If you've been paying attention, I guess you've all seen that they've now changed the rules starting next season, I believe, in regards to the transfer market. It's going to close on the Thursday, I believe, before the season starts. So yeah, it closes before the season starts. Many people have said they want it, many people are against it. So let's get into it. Don't know where to take. There's so many angles. There's so many reasons to be for it and to be against it. Firstly, I'd say let's take the optimistic approach. If we, by my logic and what I tell you guys, if Arsenal, let's take Arsenal for example. If we knew we needed this centre mid, we knew we needed to argue a case for a centre half, a winger, an X, Y, Z, and what have you. We know we needed these things. If we went out and got that together with fixing up defensively in phases of play, you go into the season knowing who's going to be here as well. I didn't even say, yeah, in regards to the futures of the departures, you kind of need to, like I said, decide in July what the likes of Alexis, Ozil and co that were running out in 2018 want to do. You'd have to find out very quickly if they want to stay. Great, they confirm their futures. If they want to go, you need to get the money for it. Ox, his future wouldn't have been dragged out because it would have had to it would have been pressed. Everybody thought he was probably going to stay. You probably thought it wouldn't have been the others. Now comes out you have to sell him, so things would get done. And things like that, it'll be done earlier. I guess you kind of have to. I do have to say, Pep Guardiola and Arsene Wenger, two guys I admire a lot. They are very hypocritical. They both want it to shut before it closes, before the season starts. But they're still trying to do business midway. I mean, in deadline day. So you're being a bit hypocritical there. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it means you have to plan early, both on the transfer front and on the playing front. But let's just say you plan, you do all of that. Couple of games start now, you see that just these guys just aren't good enough, and or something like that. Yeah, or something like that. Sorry, I don't know why I started there. Or something like that. You'd think, sure, it serves you right, but you'd like to reserve the right to quickly rectify it, because what are the fans going to say? Why didn't you do this and that? Because his hands are tied. Added to that, let's just say, let's take the optimistic approach. You've planned, you've done everything right, everything is banging now, blah blah blah. Let's just say a long-term injury now happens to, God forbid, Lacazette or Koscielny or whoever. Arsenal won't replace them, but just to illustrate the point, or one of these players. Do you not now want to rectify it? This now opens up the case for. I mean, before I get to that point, would you not want to sign someone? Yes, you could now say you can play someone else, but you would like the luxury of replacing someone that is quality and vital to your side. That's not going to happen if it closes. Now, the point before I almost forgot. This now opens up the case for an emergency. I don't know how to phrase it, but either an emergency window or an emergency signing or something like that. If, let's just say, several key players are injured and you really need to sign someone, and the season's just gone. This now opens up the case for a club to say, "Oh, come on, now we've agreed to the rules, but stuff has happened that we've been out of, we haven't been able to control. Now other clubs can get involved. Now this opens up the case for another whole emergency signing sort of thing. Added to that, what now happens in January? Some people are critical of Wenger being hypocritical against someone who hates January, signing players in January. You can't make this up really in football. I told you, football's a madness. Yeah, you can't make this up. What now happens in January? What do you do with the January window? Because now you can't sign players. What now happens? Do you agree, if those that don't get over the line, do you agree to move in January? The players now stomp their feet until January. What actually happens? Like I said, the good thing is it means you have to plan more. Another scary point is now clubs. I mean, agents and players in this prima donna world are now going to have to pressure whether they want to move to new clubs or whatever. They're going to have to add pressure more now because there's going to be less time. Let's just say if we go back in time now and we look at this Oxlade-Chamberlain saga and the whole new contract. Let's just say he rejected 180k, but let's just say he demanded that for instance, or he was going to leave. This whole saga would have been even more crazier. I mean, it just opens up agents and players to leverage and stomp their feet a bit more, and it is crazy. I mean, could you imagine on the last day of the season, your one of your players, let's just say Alexis, he gets rattled by Pep's comments and wants him to move to City. How did Arsenal won't replace him, but how did the club that is now looking like they're going to have to sell their star man, how did they now replace that man? How did they now do something? Of course, again, people would say you'd have to plan and think ahead if you know someone, like in Arsenal's case, Alexis was going to go. But would you not like, if it was your side, the luxury to know you could at least attempt to fix that problem? And another point, short-term benefits go to overseas clubs, because now they can, don't forget, you can still sell abroad, so they can now poach players. Clubs can now stomp their feet. Again, players can now stomp their feet. Overseas clubs can now poach players and can take players from the Premier League, and the Premier League can't do likewise. so that could go against it. And the good thing is, if other clubs follow suit from abroad, follow suit, like the Spanish league, Italian league, and it becomes a widespread thing with the transfer market, I suppose it's a great thing. In regards to my point about key injuries, you're being more inclined to think clubs would have to look to kids more in the instance that, let's just take my previous example, that Koscielny, for argument's sake, got injured and he's ruled out long term, and there's not enough time to sign a replacement because the season has started. You now have to play Bielik or something like that. So now if we take that same idea and apply it to Chelsea, to City, to these sort of clubs, etc., widespread, more kids might get a chance. I know that's being very optimistic, but who knows? There's a lot of ways you could look at this. I mean, to be honest, I don't know where I personally stand. I don't sit on the fence much, but I don't know where I personally stand, because I do welcome it, because it means managers have to stop flapping about and actually decide who they want to keep and who they want to go and what the club wants to look like on the playing front wise for the new season. But no matter how much you plan, how many times you focus on things, no matter how much accuracy goes into your planning, something always happens. Something always unpredictable happens, and I like the reserve. Pardon me, popcorn in my mouth. I'd like to reserve the right to be able to do something about it quickly. Really, if I can't do it internally, I'd really like to do it. So it remains to be seen if it's a good thing or a bad thing. We're going to see very quickly if it is beneficial or it's not. But yeah, a lot of the managers and whatnot were vocal against it, and a lot of them have got their way. So those who wanted their way, we now need to see some sort of excellence on that front. Anyways, guys, Deluded Goon, I'm signing out. Thank you for watching.